having some lunch. Guys, give me a minute, I'm just having something to eat. What? Oh, without.
Listen, we don't know what happened to the Titanic. We're only guessing what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we wasn't there. We know we got hit by an iceberg because there was people who said he got hit by an iceberg, but we don't know that 100% how everything happened. Well, we know we could have fucking drove straight.
They said that they couldn't access the fucking binocular fucking thing. Like, you have 3 stations on it. Like, they should have, all this should have been done. Safety checks before they went out to sea. Like Mark said, all we know is people have told us it's a submarine. I'm the same, bro. I can't eat another one. I'm not wasting it. I'm not wasting it, Mark. I'm not eating. No, I know, man. Hey, Finn, 1 minute. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Right, brother, I'm going in the shed for a smoke, yeah? Have a chat to Finn. Where's my joint? Mark, can I pinch the lighter on you, please? You asked me for a light before. Right, come. How are you, John? Afternoon to you, pal. One sec, guys. Yeah, so, for those that don't know, I'm back at my mother's for good. Myself and Lisa, give her a go, you know. And it's heartbreaking, but it happens, you know. So, like I said, things happen out of control. And it is what it is. Shout out to rock and roll. So here, give me a second. Not a second, a second. Hey, you found him in me. Found him in the shed. Hey. I knew I was going to have to get a shed, Finn. I knew this months. Testing 1, 2. How's me sound going? Are we good? So, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of news, okay? So, I was going away from YouTube when I hit my target, but now that I'm a single man, I've changed my mind. I'm going to continue doing my YouTube. I'm going to smash my target out of the water. And I'm going to need a bit of help with it. So, how are you, Richard? Listen, my way works, and I've managed to help a few people get a couple of subs. So, it is what it is. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit upset. But it's like, look, things could be worse, you know. It's like you have to just suck it up. There's nothing else you can do, you know. I can sit here and I can cry and shit, like, but it's not going to change anything, you know. But one thing it will change, it'll give me back the energy and the passion that I used to have for doing streaming. And I knew this was going to happen, and I've helped this community grow a little bit. So I already here, listen, just in case, I've been plotting this for a long time without Finn realising, without Jordan or Jono realising, or Francie or Ricky. I always knew that I was going to have a location down here. You know, I told you that months ago. I'm looking at relocating. I ain't paying for a shed. If yous want me to do content, do a bleeding GoFundMe, but I can't accept money. Put it towards that. Listen, I'm already in a shed. What's gonna change? A few flags and a few pictures. I'm fucking sat in a shed. So what do I need to pay for one for? I'm gonna get a gazebo. Yeah, I'm getting a gazebo to stream out. You know, and I think it's about time that myself, Finn, and a couple of others of the channels that I've supported and believed in come together. Now, I'm very comfortable having Finn on a panel, having Francie on a panel, having Ricky on a panel, having Phil on a panel, and we're all in recovery. We're ex-addicts, you know. The reason why I want to go into rehab is to come off a certain medication that might end up killing me. You know, I feel dead inside as it is, but I have to put myself first from now on. The house of cards are falling, is all I can say, without stalling. I'm looking forward to seeing me son the weekend. You know, I could smell him on my pillow last night and it upset me, you know. I can't wait to take him on Friday. You know, I don't go to pubs and that's not going to change. Like, this could have tipped me over. I could have relapsing. I could relapse, but I'm not going to. My son is cocaine. I love him. You understand? He's my everything. You know, sometimes men, we don't like to admit things, you know. I'm making Lisa's mental health worse and it's making mine worse, and we're not arguing. We've ended on an amicable situation, so I'm happy about that, you know, because everything I do is for my son. You know, I wish I had a charging you bastards money from the start, but it's never been about money. All you need to do is to log on to TikTok. I've nearly 2,500 followers. Upload 8,000 videos. You see, I've always had that there, ready to upload on TikTok. And from tomorrow, I'll be going live on TikTok. One of my neighbours, young Robert, has a few thousand subscribers on TikTok, so I'm probably going to dive onto his live. I'm going to dive onto a few other people's live, and my journey will start again when I hit 5. You know, I'm less than 400 subs away from my target. The hundreds keep clocking up, and the more chances of me hitting my target is just me carrying out what I said I'm going to do from the start. Execute my plan, which was 5,000 subscribers and 5,000 videos. I've nearly made 8,000. In fact, I've made over 8,000 videos, easy. You know, and I can't let all that effort go to waste. So, a few weeks ago, if you'd asked me what I'm going to do when I hit my target, I was going to say I was going to leave it. And now, everything's changed. So, I don't think I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to go on TikTok every day, build a few followers, get a few people on my YouTube channel to jump in me TikTok. Like in Francie, I'll get Ricky to jump in. I'll get Mousy to jump in. Like I said, it's like I used to do 8 hours of YouTube every day, okay? 8 years. Oh, 8 years, 8 hours, sorry, I've been on here 8 years. And over the weekend, like I said, it's like I've been a bit sad last night and the last couple of days, but I suppose that's just normal, isn't it? You know, you know, like I said, I wish Lisa the best, you know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not one of these fathers that abandons his kids when they break up here. My son is the most important thing in my life. You know, and I'll stay sober for him. Me bollocks, mate. Here. No way. You know, and I have 2 other adults that are here to make sure that I don't relapse. So that's not even in question. I'm more interested in rehab. For fuck's sake, not doing more drugs. make it worse. You can drink yourself into oblivion and you can snort or smoke as much crack as you want. But when you wake up and you come out of it, you're still going to have the same problems, except for they're going to be 10 times worse. You know, all I wanted to be in life was a dad. You know, me kids mean everything to me. You know, but yous already know that, don't you? And in life, sometimes you have to cut away a piece of yourself in order to move forward. You know all that too, don't you? Like, I have a very supportive family, you know, that have been worried about me for months, in fact. They just didn't say anything because they didn't want to upset me. You know, but the boys had delighted them home. So are my neighbours, for fuck's sake. You know, they're all delighted I'm back. You know, for good. Like, I'm still in the process of dealing with it. It's like, so it's one day at a time, isn't it? One step at a time. Just me and me. You know, sometimes, like I said, men, we don't like admitting shit, and then you realise, oh, fuck, you know, I'll keep myself busy, I'll make as many videos as I can, and I'll hit this fucking target. You know, it's been on my mind for a while, you know, hitting this target. And I've been on YouTube for a minute. I'm going on my 8 year on here. I think it's about 8 year. You know, sometimes in life you have to just go with it. You know, it's like there's nothing else you can do. Well, bro, what else can I do? I haven't got a chance. It's like I'm honest with myself. I'm just making sure that me little man doesn't have to grow up in a home where his mum and dad is arguing all the time. Fuck that. Yeah, so, you know, glass half full, not empty. Well, maybe I'll feel different when when I get my hair cut or dyed or shaved, whatever. Well, bro, nothing else I can do. Or you have to just suck it up. You know. Yeah, I have to suck it up, bro. You know, I'm not easy to live with. I'm gonna go upstairs out of the way of Mark because he's watching TV. Just give me a second and I'll take these upstairs. Give me a second. Right, bro, I'm gonna get out of here that way. like that, just in case you need a light, but if I need one, I'll just shout down. Like that thing must have crushed me like a camera, you know, because of the air pressure, mate. You are so fucking. Yeah. Ah well, bro, look, yeah. There's not many people that appreciate the effort I've put in, but it's nice the odd time for people to say, you know, bro, you did help a couple of people when you could have helped yourself, you know. I know how super chat. Yeah, what's stopping me, yeah? Opening up my stream, yeah? Unpausing my monetization and just hitting it. Do you understand? Just hitting it, going at it. You know, let me see. Let me let a little bit of light into the room, you know. Now listen, I thought I'd be sad and what have you, and I am a little bit, but I have to just get on with it. You know, like you haven't really got a choice, you know. I haven't got a choice. You know, I need to keep my shit together. You know, I'm a granddad and my dad. I have four kids and two grandkids. You know, I need to keep my shit together. You know, and I will. You know, I have a good faith system. I think only for my faith I'd struggle. I have this perception of what's meant for you won't pass you by. You know, I believe in God. I'm a believer. And I believe things happen for a reason, and this has happened for a reason. You know, God doesn't make mistakes. You know, this has happened for a reason. Look here, look. This happened for a reason. And my trees are breezing done. Look at them blowing in the wind. They are blowing. And the sun is brightly outside my window. You know. Now, if it had been raining, I'd probably be crying. I've already did that. I've already did that part. You know. I can become like yous now and become a geek. You want to see something? So, are you ready to play? Oh shit. Oh, stay there. Stay there. It's not mine, it's an empty box. It's me brother's, he owns it, it's not mine. You know, I'm not a gamer, but it's me brother's. There's nothing in that box, it's empty. I could lie and tell you there's one in there and it's mine, but it'd be a lie. There's nothing in it. Kind of. I don't play games, but I think I might have a couple of hours of time to kill. Something's telling me that I've all time in the world to kill now. You know. Yeah. I beat you with me soul. Oh, nah, it's like, look, in life things happen, okay? It's like there's nothing we can do about it. Boom, over your head. Extend, boom, over me head. Now look what I've done. I spilled me tea, I'm not happy. Motherfucker. Nah, it's like I don't really play video games. It's not my thing, you know. Uh, my brother plays games, you know. I'm not a gamer, you know, but neither is he, in all fairness. He just plays Call of Duty the odd time, and he has a couple of car games. I like them. I like war games, in fact. War games are cool. You know, it's just like I'm fucking 51. I'm a bit old to be playing video games. I'm like, you know, but I'm not going to lie, some of the graphics on them are deadly. You know, like because of AI now, it's like the games are sick. You know, it's a lot easier to make your own game nowadays because of AI. You know, can do what you ask it. You know, and if you answer nicely, you can hack into certain shit if you know people that are that way inclined. I was thinking of going over to the Etihad, make a bit of content. I've got a puncture in my scooter. I'm not walking. I can't be asked. You know, but you never know. I'll see if my phone charges up. You know, last night I could smell my son on the pillow. Like, I had him Friday, Saturday. He woke up in this bed Sunday, yeah. I left the house at about 9 that morning because I had to go to Liverpool to see my other son. You know, and I tried to give myself a bit to everybody, and I didn't leave anything for myself. You know, I tried to help people even though I was breaking inside. You know, a lot of people will be delighted and happy that in the situation. You know, but it is what it is. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing to help anybody for free without no fee? I've done this for a long time, plotting, building and helping to contribute to a little community within a community. People with mental health issues, people with alcohol issues, people with addiction issues, people with recovery issues that go on to have redemption stories. You know, I don't give a flying fuck whether you're English, Protestant, it doesn't bother me. I've no enemies, I don't hate anybody. I just don't like some people. You know, hate is too big an emotion. You know, I don't hate anybody. I hate nonsense. Now, I have a real hatred towards sex offenders. Now, I'm not going to lie about that. I despise them. You know, I absolutely despise anybody who is a significant risk to women and to children. Any man will tell you that. Like, I'm a law-abiding citizen. And nowadays, you can't have a row with somebody because there's too many ring bell door cams, there's too much CCTV, where if you're fighting with your neighbour, 2 doors down the road has a ring doorbell. Do you understand? And where I live, where I used to live, allegedly, a lot of people have door cameras, you know, so you have to understand something. You have a row with the guy over there and you punch fuck out of him and you disappear for a minute. Them fuckers have time. They have you on CCTV punching some fella and stamping on him. The woman across the road has a front version of it in real time. You know, it's like your bollocks, you're super compromised, you know, and you can't go in and ask somebody to delete whatever. You don't even know whether they caught it, but some just work. Some are motion censored, you know, movement censored, but it's like there's too many cameras nowadays, you know what I mean? And it's like your bollocks, you can't say black, gay, or Muslim without you being a racist, or a homophobe, or a bigot. I'm neither. I've got friends from all backgrounds, from nationalities. Daniel Kinnan. Yeah, baby. I'm delighted he got you, you cunt. I'm delighted he got you. Did you not think that someone wouldn't have seen you at an event in Dubai alongside your daddy wearing a fucking poncho basically and a Cuban hat and a cigar? You know that cigar and that hat got you nicked. Your daddy, his ego, didn't get the better of him. You stupid man. You're one of the world's most wanted men. Hello, Mrs. Hello. Janine. I'll be honest with you, I'm glad Daniel Kinahan got caught. You know why? Because that bastard allegedly is responsible for a good friend's death of mine. You know what? They tried. I have a friend from Cabaret who was in the Ra, allegedly, who got executed in front of his daughter by somebody who went state's evidence against Daniel Kinahan, being Freddie Thompson. Double tapped my friend. In fact, he double tapped a couple of them. So I've no sympathy for him. Fuck him. I am delighted. You know, when Robbie Law got killed and executed, everybody in Ireland celebrated because they hated him. You know, he was a hitman, according to the media. You know, like what he did to that youngster. He cut him up in bits and left him in a fucking hold all and put him outside so family could fucking, you know, find him like that. Mutilated. You know, like Dublin Gangland has loads and loads of casualties. You know, if you're related to this person or that person, you're in danger. You know, Dublin it's not like anywhere else. You know, and you mind your fucking manners when you're talking to me. That's the mindset over there. Everything's about respect. You can have an argument with a fella in a pub in Dublin, and here, if this fella turns around and says, "See you, I'll be back," watch. 8.5 times out of 10, they're coming back with a Glock and they are shooting people in that pub because of you. And some of them don't even aim. You know, and if you haven't got both hands on a revolver or a 9mm, the gun's gonna kick. Do you understand? So it's like both hands, like that. Aim. Whereas if you have a Glock in your hand, mate, and you try to shoot it like this, the way I'm like that, and no support here, this is gonna kick and it'll probably hit you in the fucking head. Like when you fire around, you don't forget. When you fire around at a target, you don't forget, especially a moving one. You know, I can sleep at night. Like my mate will tell you, you chop a person because he robbed me. That's the only reason. What you want me to do? Do I look like a doormat? You know, when I was away from Ballyfermot, I was just mixing with naughty people, you know what I mean? That give me a solution to fix a problem if I ever found myself on one. Let's say in a pickle. Bro, listen, I'm not on here to fight with anybody. That's not my thing, that, bro. You bring the police. You understand? Bro, you don't want to fight me. I don't come on my own. Well, I do come on my own, but know this. I don't start trouble, bro. I finish it. Why do you think I've never called anyone out on YouTube, bro? Listen, I'm certified psychotic. I've got complex PTSD. I can't just throw a couple of digs and walk away. You know, I have to make sure you can't get off that ground. The way my dad taught me, my dad bettered into me until I got it right. He taught me how to fight, me dad. By all the beatings he gave me. And me mum. I always said I'd never hit a chick. You know, and if well, so be it. I've never called anybody out on YouTube, but believe me, the last couple of days I've been tempted. You can reach out to all my friends back home and ask them, can I fight? Like, I don't need validation. I don't need to call people out on YouTube to prove that I'm a man. I know what I am. You know, I'm not a tough guy, a hard man, or a fighting man. I can just defend myself, motherfucker. I know this. You have a weapon in your hand and you run at me, I'm going to kick you in your head. Simple. Fight over. Oh shit, you just head kicked him. The old man. Yeah. Now look, I've just rendered you unconscious. And you made me do it. I didn't want to do it. You know, have you ever played pitch and putt as a kid and you went on to play golf? And even though you're shit at golf, you can still get around the course in 100 balls. 18 holes. Less than 100 balls. Now, I've not played golf in ages, but I'd have a go at it, but I'm shy at it. You see, you have to identify what you're good at in life and what you're bad at. My friends will tell you here, Jude could fight, and he didn't give a fuck how tough you were. I've grew up with killers, allegedly. Assassins. High caliber friends. And here, it is what it is. It's like that in Dublin. You know. And once you're involved in that world, you see a lot of things that you wish you didn't. You hear what I'm saying? I've been around mad bastards that made me vomit through fear. I've only ever been afraid of 3 people in my life, and I'll give you the 3 of their names. Rusty Grandin, Marno Highland, and my father. All three of them put the fear of God in me. I thought I was a tough lad, right? And I witnessed somebody chained like a dog and having things done to him. Heinous things, like, see me, I've got a heart. Even though in that world you can't show emotion or it'll get you killed or me or your six or the people that come with you. They'll be picking up bits of you. I grew up in Ballyfermot. I grew up watching all the Red Wall lads get their nickname and understanding why they had the nickname. And I've been around tough lads, but I'll be honest with you, the toughest lad I've ever been around was from Cabaret, and he put the fear of God into me. And it worked. I'm not lying. Imagine, right, now, shout out to all the tough guys out here. I've got one for you. Imagine you were in a house where another human being was tied to the kitchen sink by chain, was made lick water out of a bowl full of water and cocaine, degraded, in his nip, not a bit of clothing on, and he did something in front of me that made me sick. Physically, I got sick. And I knew I wasn't like him. No fucking way, mate. I don't want to be like you. Imagine you're in a room and you're seeing a fella stick an iron to another human being's head, and while this guy is screaming, this guy is mimicking his screams. It reminded me of Silence of the Lambs, where she's screaming in the fucking pit and this cunt is like, ah! You know, I thought I wasn't getting out of that gaff. You know, he, like I said, a very scary man, and he needed to be dealt with. He was a problem. Do you understand? Mark Desmond was the same. I didn't trust that cunt either. He made me feel uncomfortable, you know. A fucking knee brace, man. You fucking me now, look. So I'm gonna have to sit on the bed for 2 hours with this on, because my knee is fucked. Like a big fat vagina, sorry. Fucked. What up, gangster? Do you like me man bag? They got me t-shirt, do you like it? I have a little purse there like a big guy, look. That's just me ID on me purse, look. Yeah. Oh, I'm not into bags though, you know. But yeah, that geezer frightened the bollocks out of me, I'm telling you now. Like, I've only ever witnessed it once, and I don't want to witness it again. Like, you know, when I found out this fella was dead, I fucking, it was a big relief in all fairness, because this fucker, I want to show you something, right? For those in attendance that do not know how near I am to the Etihad, I'm going to show you. Look, yeah, can anybody see the stadium over there? Can you see it? That's how near I am. There you go. Send location, there you go. There's me fucking location. Sausage. Now, I have a bit of news for you. I'm meeting somebody, I think, tomorrow. to do a bit of content with, but I'm not 100% yet. Right. So I'm less than 400 subscribers off my target, so I'm gonna hit it, add some to it. I don't miss targets. I'm good at it. I've just been snoozing, you may as well say. You know, I was in family mode, and now I'm in damage limitation mode. To attend this lesson, you big sausage. Now, take 24 hours to think about what you just said, you dummy. And if it's any one of me mods, I apologise, but you need to let me know if that's your ID. Because I'm not fucking psychic. What up, gangster? You know, a few people have reached out to me and said, Jude, I'm delighted you're back at your mother's. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking glad you're delighted. There's no winners here. Nobody wins in this situation. Sorry, my son wins. Yeah, my son in this situation. You know, and yeah, that's all I can say on the matter now. It is what it is, you know. This way, maybe I'm gonna be able to help a few more. How are you, John? Oh, bro, I apologise. Let me fucking untime you out. My bad. Sorry, bro. Oops. Wait, let me find him. Where's the guy gone? Bro, I apologise. How do I unhide him? Where's he gone? 1 sec. Oh, bro, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, my bad, sorry. I'm going through a rough time at the minute. Forgive me for that. Shout out to Mr. John Dillon, all the way out in Ballier. My old area. Knows all my friends, old friends. You know, a lot of proper bowsies, but they're gentlemen. You know, like the media have wrote stories about my mates and my families for fucking 4 decades. Do you understand? It's like I come from good stock. Do you understand? It's like I have certain... I'm not perfect, but I have man qualities. Do you understand? Like, if I shake your hand and look you in your fucking eye, yeah, I can tell you, mate, that I'm genuine. You know, this has never been about financial gain for me. It's been much bigger than that. You know, because I knew I could help a few channels, and when the time was right, I was gonna ask all them channels to help me. Hey, now there's no excuse. I need to build something in that garden, with or without your help. So next week I'll put up a link, and if people want to help me, they can. And here, I don't want no money. Nah, listen, bro, that's my fault. It's not your fault. My apologies. I thought you were being... What's that word? Disrespectful. Yeah. My bad for that. I don't take chances with people, bro, for being disrespectful or their tone is condescending. Yeah. I'm not gonna lose 1 sub. That's not gonna bother me. But if I'm wrong, I apologise. I don't mind apologising if I'm in the right, but I'm wrong. So yeah, I'm just a bit compromised at the minute. You know, my heart is compromised. My mind is compromised. As a child, I was traumatised. You know, aces, they don't go away, you know. I didn't know that I had them until I got older. Years later, my son done a study on it, on aces, adverse childhood experiences. That's what he teaches. You know, he's very good at his job, and like, so some of the things that he has to deal with, like, and some of the stories, he's very good at his job. He's one of the best up there at it. I couldn't be more prouder, you know, for the, like, I wanted to rebel against my dad and not take his advice, whereas my son has never gone against me. He's always listened to me advice, and he's chose the career that I've always wanted him to do, which is helping youngsters from not taking their life and from providing a safe and secure area for children with mental health issues and safeguarding issues also, like. But he's one of the best at it, and I'm so proud of him. You know why? I wanted my dad to be proud of me, not for fighting, not for beating people up, but for a man and for what I've achieved and what have you, you know. I always rebelled against me dad. I fucking hated him as a kid. But when I had my own son, like, I got it. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't get me dad beating my ass, me mass, but he did apologise when I got older. And I accepted his apology. You know, it is what it is. You know, he wasn't the best part in the world, but he wasn't the worst. You know, he taught me shit like, you know, like not taking anything off anybody, never taking handouts. It's a fucked up childhood thing. Why do you think I paused me monetisation? Because I thought that I was a taker. If I charge people money who have mental health issues that are in recovery, I'm only extorting them like a drug dealer does. You know, how am I helping people by charging them money? You know, I never did this for the money. I did it to help people because of the experiences I've had. Good and bad. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything in my life. Me ma, me dad dying, me granny, me little brother and sister dying. I wouldn't change it. Because of the life and the people I have in mind. Not a fucking chance, mate, would I change a thing. Because I'd never having the children I have, the grandchildren I have, the family I have. My family come here at 18. When I was 18, nearly 19, my dad said, fuck this, we're all going to Manchester, and left Cherry Orchard. And all relocated to Manchester because of me. Not because they had to, because they wanted to. They missed me. You know, and I missed them and they moved. You know, my dad sold everything and left, man. True story, like, you know. So I always wanted to make me dad proud, you know. Like I said, but university, I knew that was the way forward, like, you know, getting an education and getting something back that I lost at 13. And I didn't just get it back. I couldn't spell for shit when I was a kid. I was rubbish at art. My favourite subject was PE. I got thrown out both skills when I was 13. Guys, they're going to have to wait because my phone is going to die. It's on 3%. If my phone goes off, it's cause it's died. But like I said, it's like you have to acknowledge your demons. You have to identify the threat and then neutralise it. Where I'm from, we turn vapour into vapour, smoke. You know, I'm a dad, a grandfather, I've got 2 daughters and 2 sons. And I have no time for anybody who's a significant risk to women or to children. I think that's just a man instinct, you know. Like, we want our children to be innocent as possible. And where I grew up, there was no like innocence, you know. We grew up too quick. Well, thanks for coming in, Richard. Like I said, Richard will tell you the effort I put in. He's seen a bit of it. You know, I believe my way works, and that's not me being arrogant. That's me fucking just trying to build on top of something in this community. Because there's too many people on here that just want your money. You know, they won't give you a shout out or a mention unless you share that. Unless you become a member of their channel, which is normally £2 a month. You know, when I was on the cesspit, I had membership fees for 8 channels. I was paying Jerry Fighting Irish a £5 a month for 6 months to learn a little bit about it. You know, because I was watching YouTube and the cesspit, but Fighting Irish's channel, I said, I'll learn a bit from Jerry. Now, I'm not going to run anybody down here, but Jerry didn't follow through with his promises. He promised me he was going to help me, or he was going to send me something to help me. Himself and DG back up. Now, I get on with DJ. I haven't spoke to him in ages, but because of the cesspit, you know, I form friends and alliances with people. You know, there's not many channels around from that. You know why? They're all struck. Because they cross the line. They can't help themselves. It's their ego. They need validating. They have to call men out. They have to call other men out. Little man mindset. Little man mindset. You know, you have to prove to the world you're a man. Here, my mates will tell you, I'll beat your ass, mate. And here, good if you're bigger than me. You know, I'm an old man. I've no business elevating my right leg over my head. Do you understand? I got blasted there. There's a crater taking out my knee. My doctor can't understand why I can extend my leg the way I can. You know, I've no business doing it. I've a fucking fucked up kneecap. You know, I hurt myself when I do it, but I've got 1 or 2 good bangs in it. And I don't miss. Like, you don't take chances with fucking civilians. I'm not a civilian. You know, I lived a certain life half a lifetime ago. Allegedly, I was a drug dealer. Allegedly, I robbed drug dealers. Gunpoint. Allegedly. There was nothing alleged about that one because he had it coming. He robbed me. What was I meant to do? Let it go? For about 8 hours, he had more control over me than I did. He shook me. He shook me. I was afraid to leave me house. Now, at the time, my job was selling a certain product. That was my bread and butter because I was an addict. But I went on a delivery one day. I got off my motorbike, took my helmet off. Next of all, some fella come behind me and put a fucking needle to me neck. Knew me name, said, "You don't know you're super brave. You better spit it out." You know, that's all I want, bro, is your shit. Spit it out. He knew I had it in my mouth, obviously. Before I took my helmet off, he was behind me. I didn't see him coming. But he didn't see me coming either. Neither did the 2 Egypts in his flat in Sheriff Street. Everyone knows it was me that robbed them. You know, allegedly. You know, I'd multiple witnesses that see me face. You know, He took £80 off me, and have a guess what I took off him? Allegedly. 14 ounces. At the time, ounces a gear were going for over 5 grand. You know, I had 14 of them. I had plans to sell 11 and keep the rest for me. I was going to make a quick 50k. I was going to invest it into gold or into more drugs, and then I was going to build and build and build on that, and then I got nicked. And he found 2 weapons. The gaff got raided 2 times. On both searches, they found a handgun, allegedly. A Luger with about 100 rounds. And a Glock, a 20 with 11 bullets. And they all had my fingerprints on, according to the prosecutor. You know, I kind of regret that, because my lad was only a kid, you know. But I was a heroin addict, you know. I didn't care. I don't mean I didn't care about my son. I love my son here. My son lived in a lovely apartment, you know. I could buy him the best of gear. In fact, I didn't need to buy him anything. The supermarket and the fucking Gap come to my door. I had someone that worked in the Gap in Dublin, in the arcade, right? And you know what he was doing? He was getting 2 pairs of Levi's, yeah? At the time, my waist was 30 waist, right? I'm not telling you what it is now. 30 waist, yeah, 30 leg. He'd come home at dinner break with the 2 of them on. And he used to charge me £20 for a pair of 501 Levi's. I had about 12 pairs of the black ones. I'm not joking you. Black is one of my favourite colours, right? At the side of me bed, I had a half pint pot that was full of gold. Earrings, chains, necklaces, fucking wedding rings. You know. I like that. That's creative, that. But like I said, man, I always knew, like I said, you know, I didn't need me mate's permission or anybody's hand to hold. You know what I mean? I was independent, like Del Boy. Independent trader. And I knew if I had been caught, there was trouble, right? Sheriff Street, Summerhill, I got ran off by Jerry Hutch's fucking minder and security guard loads of times, because I was selling in Summerhill. And his mate's like, who the fuck is he? Obviously he's not from town, because otherwise he knows that if he does that, he get into trouble. You know, I was ran off a couple of times, and lucky enough I was on a bike. You know, a helmet on, boom, gone. You know, I'd have been fucking, you know, they'd have shoot me as well. But, like I said, when you're young, you're dumb, you know, and I always wanted to be like me pals, so, yeah, you tend to behave like them as well, you know. Excuse me. Shout out to Chicago. Shout out to Chicago, the Windy City. Ooh-wee. Put it in the air. Hey, check the garden out. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it's a nice day to sit in the garden? Houston, we have got your Hubble sitting in my garden. There's one magpie, thank you for ruining me fucking day. You bastard. Where's the other one? They come in pairs. I know, where's his hoe? Where's his bud? What do you think of the garden? Bud? Hey, just a peace garden. Do you not think I have a nice garden? You know, and summer is nearly here, which means I'm going to get a suntan. So, things aren't bad. Even though my world has ended, I am a single male. But I ain't looking to lay with nobody. Hell no. Fuck no. You know, I'm just gonna focus on myself and my son. You know, yeah, that's what's next. You know, like I said, when I'm here, I can feel me mother and me father. I can feel their presence. Like here, I've got complex PTSD. You see where that washing line is? I can see me ma hanging out me jocks. You know, I can see her hanging out me brother's jocks. You know, with the Fury brothers on. You know, playing our rebel songs out the window. My ma was patriotic, you know. Like, I have family that were military. My ma was very patriotic, you know. But it looks better at night, you know. I need a haircut. I'm trying to decide what colour to dye my hair this time. Someone told me not to dye it blue. I might just dye it blue. Or purple. Or green or red. I've already done that. I want a colour I've never had. I don't, honestly do not fucking know. I might go bubble fucking gum green or something. Yeah. And I just get a light. No, fuck that, mate. I can't get pink. No, I don't want anyone winking at me. Fuck that. Yeah. My winking days are over. I said winking. You bowsy. Can I get a light? Just waking up in the morning when I think, God, I don't know, today's no. Well, listen, me dad taught me something. Son, it doesn't matter whether people watch it or laugh with you, they're laughing. I understand that, you know. We don't need another studio. We got a lot of things to do, Dio. Do you ever hear from? No. And like I said, that wasn't me knocking Jerry, in all fairness, because he learnt me a couple of things. That's the reason why I become a member of this channel. And in all fairness, like, he said a few nice things about me over the time, but a lot of people fell out with him and start calling him a grave robber, and I had to kind of distance myself. Listen, nobody's perfect. We've all done things that we're not fucking proud of. You know, like I did things, mate. There's nothing alleged about it. I had a fucked up childhood. You know, I lit a match when I was 4. That burned me house down with me brothers and sister in it. You know, I've had a friend die in my arms. Keith Collins died in my arms in the apartment lanes, but 6 years later, I managed to get one of them on their own. They couldn't come to hurt me. You know what I mean? So now I've an excuse to get you back, and I did get him back. You know, I stuck a fucking radio handle right in his eye, mate. You know, by the time I was done with him, the screws tried to get to him before I ended him. Now look, you've given me a few fucking scratches, you've stabbed me, so what? You stabbed me about 10 times. He stabbed me a few times, so I got him back. It's like... But I'll be honest with you, I was afraid of him and his clique, because I was on my own, you know what I mean? And his family and his friends had the screws in their pocket. No, I'm not in rehab, mate. Why is it the lamp? Garden? You like? I could see this coming 6 months ago. And I said to you guys, I'm going to need a new location for doing me content. And now, I'm back here, and I need somewhere to do me content. Now, I can do it in the garden, I can do it there. You know, all I need is a chair. Oh shit, £20. Sorry, John, I didn't see a comment there, bro, sorry. About £20, depending on what it is. If it's a flavour, you'll get it for 25. So it's like 50 for... It's like 50 for a cube. You know. But over here, John, do you know what's a big thing now? You know, the medical marijuana, the medical cannabis is massive over here. They won't give me it because I'm on antipsychotics. They won't give it me. But it's like, I know loads of people that are on it. You know, you pay like £5 a month and you can get it like for £7 a gram. The medical stuff, it starts from £7 and it goes up to about 15. But it's medical, like, you know, and it's helping a lot of people worldwide. You know, like, it's not like it used to be. Like years ago in Thailand, like, if you got caught walking around with cannabis, you'd be in trouble. Whereas now, it's legalized, you know. It's a very seedy country, though. You know, the only time I ever thought I'd go over there is to fight or to train. You know, my brother did it for about 7-8 years there, Mark. You know, he worked in a Thai restaurant and his gaffer was the co-founder of the International Muay Thai Federation in Manchester, Master Woody and Grandmaster Corinne. Two brothers, yeah? They come to the UK in the 80s. And he saved all their money, all their wages, and he opened up a little restaurant with a couple of little rooms and built an empire. And then what he did was, they opened their gym over the restaurant, which ended up becoming the International Muay Thai Federation in Manchester. So Mark, like I said, Mark and Alex work for them, and you know what? The pair of them were midgets, and I'll tell you one thing, right? They would dismantle you, right? So, me brother, they all finished late one night, and he used to drive them all home, you know? Like Beswick, Blakely, Oldham, all over, yeah? And this particular night, they were all about to load up in the van, and this fucking geezer has hold of this woman. Now, Mark told me the story, right? This geezer, he was about 6'6", and he looked about 18 stone, a big steadhead, right? And he turned around to Mark's boss. Mark's boss, like, the Thai people are very humble, right? So he said, brother, don't do that. She's pregnant. You understand? And he said, get the fuck away from me. He said C-H-I-N-K, right? The guy is a Thai. He's not Chinese. He said, bro, he said, please let her go. I don't want to hurt you. Your man's like, I'd like to see you fucking try. He threw a dig at him. My man got out of the way and just kicked him. You know what I mean? Booted him. You know, took him off his feet. You know, humbled him. Are you okay, darling? Do you need a lift anywhere? You know, you've just fucking knocked out me boyfriend. He's just been beating you. You've got a baby inside your stomach. You know, fuck off. You. Do you understand? Told him to fuck off. Because he helped her. But I tell you one thing, yeah. My for 7 years, Mark. You know, I mixed it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Little techniques and all. Like I said, them Thai guys are fucking hard. They grow up kicking palm trees. Do you understand? Their shins are like fucking titanium. The things, the way they condition themselves and get themselves prepared for fights and all, you know, and they're very humble people, Thai people, you know, they're very fucking humble. But this guy, like I said, he built the International Muay Thai Federation in Manchester, Master Woody and Master, and he helped thousands of people, you know, all around the place. You know, like I said, you get there's a lot of good coaches in this city, you know, boxing gyms, kickboxing gyms, Muay Thai gyms, MMA gyms. But it's like a collaboration of all your skills banged into one, you know, and see what the final product is, you know. Like I said, Irishmen have this alleged reputation where we're supposed to be tough and we don't talk about our feelings because they get us compromised. You know, but that's up to you. That's on you. You know, if you want to go through your life thinking you're well hard and nothing fucking bothers you or nothing can penetrate your arsenal, literally. You know, you have to identify your threat. And even if it breaks you, you have to neutralise it. Because anything that's harming you, longevity-wise, you have to neutralise it. You have to cut it, you have to amputate a piece of yourself. I've never been a selfish person. You know, I've always tried to think about how decisions can affect other people, you know, and not many people have actually gave a flying fuck to give me the same courtesy. Can you hear the birds? Anyway, like I said, it's the Peace Garden. Now it's nice at night time. Hey, Francie. No, bro, I wouldn't say that, but I'll tell you one thing. I'll be in your lives a bit more now. You know, and we'll do a couple of lives together, me, you, and Finno. Hey. And we'll try get you a few subs, you know. Nah, Francie, without going into detail, it is what it is, bro, you know. And maybe it's gonna help me, bro, because I'm not gonna lie. I've been breaking inside for months, bro. And I've tried to mask it whilst helping everybody else. You know, but I did tell you if you change the name of your channel is doubling subs. Didn't I? So a fella come in me live the other day and said to me, Jude, could you help me? I'm from Clondalkin. I said, if you know me family, I'll help. He said, Jude, I was at your Uncle Christie's funeral a few months ago and I went to your cousin Keith's the other day and I was like, bro, just because you attended that funeral, I'm gonna help you. And my way works. Out of all the channels on YouTube, that is monetized. None of them can help you the way I can. They could if they wanted to. They could make shorts for you. May I not tell you, when you're a member of the channel, you get more from me for free than you get from anybody else paying membership fees. You know, shout outs, personalised videos, adding your shit to my description link. All them are perks that I don't charge for. I should really, shouldn't I? But I couldn't, because it's like I come across a lot of Irish people, you know, that were ex-addicts in recovery, the same as me, that have fucked with cocaine, that have messed with heroin, that have messed with tablets, that aren't afraid to tell their story. You know, and regardless whether people come in there and call me names, I can't do nothing about that. You know, not everyone's gonna like you. Everybody's got an arsehole. And I made the decision a couple of days ago that I'm gonna start loving myself for the first time in my life. And relaxing. And yeah, I'm 52 this year. You know, now I have time for me. You know, at the weekends, it'll be for my children. But through the week, I'm having time for me. You know, I'm not gonna lie, my mental health is all over the fucking place, but I'm just coping with it. You know, there's people out there that didn't wake up today. There's people out there that were told yesterday they have cancer and shit. You know, like nobody's died. You know, and it's like me son is gonna benefit. I always said that if I ever start arguing where it's gonna affect me son, I have to go. And I don't just have to think of me, I have to think of an 8-year-old as well. You know, I cannot be arguing in front of kids. I'd sooner walk away, and that's what we've had to do. Sorry. Yeah, well, like I said, Francie, I'll hit me target quicker than I thought I'd be, because tomorrow we're going back to making content every day. You know, I'll hit my target, and then when I hit 5,000 subs, we have a shed there. But bro, if I've already built it, so yous could come. Jude McDonald and I'm done. Bukel, see the fuck she's doing your bail, Cunas, Guramila Mahagut, Cunas the thought too. Chucky Erla, Erngabra, Oglin and shout out to me dad. He's over there by the tree. You cannot see it because you've not got PSTD. Okay. First thing he said was, I'll cut your head up. You got an African grey? No way, bro. Guys, if you're not up to Straight Out Cabra's channel, Francie, can you do it? If you're not up to Straight Out Clondalkin, can you do it? If you've got a channel, right, change your fucking name to Straight Out wherever you're from. Whether it be Clondalkin, Tala, Lucan, Crumlin, Drimney, Inchicore, Bluebell. Well, I'll be able to see them. What time are you going live later on? And guys, come here, can you do me a favour? If you're not up to Pablo's channel, and if you're not up to Finn's channel, if you're not up to Richard's channel, I know he doesn't want subs, but that bollocks could go live if he wanted. I think he's over 100. If you're not up to Mr. John Dillon, can you do a thank you? Like I said, hello, Mr. Rival, I just seen you there. No, not yet, bro. I just seen you there in the chat. No, not yet, bro. I have a phone call at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Me caseworker, I'm gonna tell her today that I'm thinking of going into rehab. Can she help me? So I'll find out in a bit. I'm waiting for a phone call back. I haven't got much time to waste, so Now I have me time. Tell them, what time is it? Fran, you're a pimp. You've got more fucking women. You've got more birds than I had. You know. Shout out to Francie. 10 parrots altogether. That's a fucking achievement, that. But, so Francie, maybe tomorrow or the next day, myself, you and Fran, you got all your teeth get up out of that. So listen, right, so I wanted to do this for ages, but I was more concentrated on my family and routine and what have you. And if the truth be told, I could have hit this target a long time ago, but I took my foot off the pedal. You know, and I'm not asking for a medal. You know. Shout out to him, Ye and G. Yeah. I did this for free, without a fee, and look what it's done to me. Friday, okay, we can do that. Francie, a few people have reached out to me and said to me, Jude, I'm a bit worried about you. Nah, bro, hang on, whoa. No. Thanks to you, Francie. You did it, not me. I just encouraged people to sub to your channel. You know, I told you you'd have a good channel. All you needed to do was to change your channel name, which would resonate with a lot of people. So what happens is, let's say, I'm from Ballyfermot, right? So my channel obviously is STRAIGHTOUTTABALLYER. So I said to Francie, change your channel to Straight Out Cabra, bro. You know, cause what happens is people identify with you not just from your area, but from other areas like myself, Finn, Francie, Pablo, Richard. We're all from different areas of Dublin. You know, and then you have people from different countries that come in and out. And I've only ever wanted to do this to reach out to about 20 people on my old housing estate, which led to over 3 million views. You know, I only wanted 20. In all fairness, I just wanted me mates to reach out to me, and I don't believe in coincidence. I have a fella that goes by the name of Gary Flynn, and I've been trying to get him to come on my channel for years to talk about the night we got ambushed, me and him, in G1. So he reached out to me, so I sent him a message and I asked him, bro, I need you to come on and tell them that night we were in G1 and both of us got dived on. You know, but we got out of there. They took everything off us and fucked us out. But good times, you know, that I managed to fucking survive. Don't ask me how, cause some of me mates ain't alive. But I think we're gonna go out and sit in the garden. I have my phone on charge, Francie. Cause bro, do you know what I seen a parrot doing the other day? I seen Monster Energy. You know what I mean? It's like I witnessed Francie's parrot pick up the can of Monster and neck it. You know what I mean? You know what? Fuck's sake, I think it's deadly. I hate when a little bit gets on your fucking lip. But nah, look, I'll be honest with you. The last few days have been fucking rough, mate. You know, like I've not had me pre-gabs today. for me pain and shit, and I'm not taking them. They're sat on the window waiting for me to take them. I'm not taking them. I watched the video the other day. Don't get me wrong, I'll have one tonight before I go to sleep. But other than that, it's like I'm gonna try myself, because the only way for me to get into this detox, bro, how am I meant to do it? Do you understand? I'm on pre-gabs for the last 7 years because of me nerve pain. You know, I never asked to go on them. They put me on them. You know, the big fucking dint in me right knee, bro. I get these major, you know, that just shoot up and down me legs like an arrow. It's like, so I've no business elevating me right leg because it's fucked. I'll show you, bro. You know, it's like, and I was told I shouldn't be kicking because it could tear me rotor cuff off the calf. I'll show you. Francie, you recognise that sign, don't you? Right? You see? Like I said, bro, you know what I mean? I'm not joking you. Look at it from side on, Francie. You see the hole in that, bro? You know, see the scorch mark there? Like, there's a few. But anyway, like I said, I've no business elevating this right leg. Of severe trauma in it. But I don't listen to what the doctor's telling me. Yeah, I'd kick you in your head easy. Francie, you know what I do? I just remove them. They don't get any airtime in here. Know that. You get people talking shy. You know, and afraid of your own shadow. You wouldn't do anything to me. A couple of your weasel mods coming in, bro. I'd fight you with one hand. Me right hand. And me legs are fucked. See that hand? I'd smash to bits, mate. I've got major trauma on me hands. And me elbows there and me hand there. Look here. I'll show you there, look. You know, that's from defending myself. Here. There you are, there, look. That's from defending myself. And smashing my elbow off people's faces. There you are, there's the damage there. Look, you're blind. Yeah, fuck you. Francie, you know what you get? You get people trying to bait you. Like, I've been on YouTube 8 years, you know what I mean? I know the little weasel tactics. You know, do you have a shy channel? So do you have to call people out to get clicks, clout, and coin? You know. Michael O'Flaherty, I'd batter you and Jimmy on the same night, or Mickey, whatever his name is. I'd burst you. You know, you'd be light work. I'd just turn around and crack you. Salam alaikum, brother. Sabah. Alhamdulillah, my knee gets better soon, brother. Voila. Tika. But yeah, me right knee, you know. Yeah, it doesn't matter as far, it does not bother me where the person's from, and it does not bother me about a person's religion. An arsehole's an arsehole. You know, and unfortunately, you have racists, bigots, homophobes on YouTube. YouTube is full of trolls. You know, and the one thing they can never say to me is, yeah, I don't make money off YouTube. I did this because I cared about people, not because I cared about my bank account. You know, I did this for nobility reasons. You know, well, Francie, one day you will, bro, and charge everybody. I'm fucking telling you now. It'd be like, alright, I'll put it to you another way. See the way I get on with you, or get on with Francie, or I get on with you, or get on with Finn, I get on with Richard. Yeah? No one asked you to come in here, big ears. You know, it'd be like me helping you with your YouTube channel, and me and you falling out, and then me blocking everybody on your channel. And that's what happened with me, Francie. I used to have a channel years ago called Fighting Back United. I trusted someone because I didn't know anything about YouTube. And in all fairness, he helped me. You know, but what I didn't realise was he had a hidden agenda. You know, he gave me a lot of stuff. You know, spent a few pounds on me. And in all fairness, it's like if someone says to you, I'll sponsor your channel. Do you understand? I had about 600 subs. He knew me password, this, that, the other. And he blocked everybody. So I had to start a new channel. And this one has taken me 3 years. And I'm less than 400 subs away from 5k. You know. When I hit 5,000 subs, like I said, I might open up my TikTok. There's a few people I know on TikTok that want me to dive on their channel, but I might just let a few of yous dive on to fill the boxes. People that have been supportive to me. You know, I've already made enough content to upload. You know, 8,000 videos. That's a lot of content, isn't it? I just timed them out, bro. Leave them to it. You know, not everyone's gonna like you. I don't give a fuck whether people like me, bro. You know, I don't need, I'm just very cautious about who I meet up with, you know. Hang on a minute, and me making out smoke. Give me one of them. Yeah, like I said, I don't even give them airtime most of the time. I just remove them, you know. Do you want a bit of difference to my growth, you know? The one thing about my channel, Francie, it's never got stuck in the mud. It's always progressively moved. Do you understand? You get a lot of people, yeah? I've been on here 8 years, Francie, so you get a lot of people that have no likability, they've no substance, other than the ones that are putting up their nose at the weekend, pack of heads, and you've a cheek to call me this and that. Hey, I bet you won't piss in a bottle, will you? But like I said, not everybody's gonna like you on here, and you have to be very careful who you associate with on here, bro, because there's loads of wrong'uns on here, and it's like, you never know who's watching you, and it's like, there's certain people, right? So if certain people have names attached to them, like a Bacon or this or that, or a police informer, I'll have nothing to do with them. That's not my fault, that's their fault. I can't have anything to do with anybody that's like that. I'm a dad and I'm a fucking granddad, mate. There is zero tolerance for sex offenders. I don't like them. There's zero tolerance to bullies. The best thing you can do with a bully is to lay him out in front of people and video it and upload it and say, now, you made me do that, now look. You're all over YouTube, everyone's laughing at you. And again, whether people are laughing at me or laughing with me, they're laughing. What are you doing for nothing? Fuck all. You know, I could be on TikTok every day making money. Think about it. All you need is 1,000. I've got 2.5. You know, there's loads of lads from Ballyer, right? My channel was monetized a long time ago. I just paused it. You know, it's monetized fucking over a year or more. I just wanted to prove a point to show you that I actually care. You know, I paused my membership shit. You understand? Just to prove a point here. We're not all here for the same reasons. You know, I'm on here to help people, not help myself. And I figured if I don't charge people money, when the time comes and I put my link up to build a shed in this garden, if people want to donate £1 to it, or they don't have to. But I just thought, for nobility reasons, people would see here, this guy isn't the same as everybody else. He doesn't make money off here. You know, I did this to help people because I know my way works. And if I can help 10 channels get past 50 subs that have the bravery and the courage to talk about relapse, recovery, addiction, mental health, that's a win-win for the community. Because if I can help a couple of channels, what's that stopping them couple of channels helping somebody? So basically what I've asked every channel that I've had anything to do with is make as many shorts as you can and make as many shorts as you can while you're waiting to get to 50. And when you get your channel monetized, make as much money as you can. There's stuff you can do on here when you get over 1,000 subs, like you can give people regular shout outs, you can make content for them. You know, you can make personalised videos. They're called perks, right? Now, if I never helped anybody and I start charging everyone £2 a month, and then start charging people and saying, tell you what, I can guarantee you one thing. You want a YouTube channel? I can give it to you. You know, but I want this off you or I want that off you. I know by putting your channel in my description in a week, you'll get near your 50 subs. And if it takes a couple of weeks, so be fucking it. But once you have 50, that's on you. Then you grow your channel, you write a bit about yourself in your bio. You're an ex-addict like me, you're in recovery, you're an ex-alcoholic, you've got schizophrenia, bipolar, post-traumatic stress disorder. This is why I did it for free. Because I tried to check out twice and God spared me. And I ended up going on to have a son and 2 grandkids, do you understand? So never give up fucking hope, or never give up the fight. Because there's always at the other side, light. Telling you, like, any sausage can put a rope around his neck. Hey, high or not, it takes next level balls to lay on a near a railway line. You know, that shit, I would have taken the money. You can't have with YouTube money, Paul. Bro, I wish I could have, but this is on principle and I have to stand on it. I've told people for a long time I don't make money off YouTube. I can't start now, can I? You know. But bro, I've got me satisfaction. I've got a payment off YouTube. In a way. I've got to see Finn's channel grow. Fable's channel grow. You know. And because of that, Fable is now giving Finn guitar lessons. Finn couldn't even play a chord. And this is the beauty of networking. We can help each other. Kind of, yeah. But, like I said, see the beauty of networking. People help each other, and Finn is a living embodiment of it. Because a Finn's channel, Fable start coming into his channel, and now Fable is Finn's guitar teacher. Do you understand? Like I said, it's linking people together. And I always knew this. You know, it's the bigger picture. You know, there's a lot of people that suffer with mental health illness. And even Protestants have mental health issues. Even Catholics have mental health issues. Our governments want us to hate each other. They want Ireland and England to hate each other. You know, but I don't hate anybody. You know, I dislike a few people, but I don't hate nobody. Yeah, I hate sex offenders, right? I'm not going to lie, I do. I despise them. But I don't hate nobody on this community. You know, I don't call people out for fight. I don't look for fight because I know what way it'll end. You better kill me. Because my daddy taught me, mate, and I tell you what, I'm not tough, hard or whatever, but if I notice you're a big lad and you're running at me, I'll keep my space. You know, and once you come in my fucking target, mate, I'll hit you either with my right hand or this gammy leg. You know, people say, next smackhead, gammy leg, old man, banged you and cooked you. You know. Now that's a beautiful story. I just cooked you. Well done. Yeah, you just got cooked, mate. Well done, like a rasher. Baked, like a potato. You know, but don't get me wrong, I'll be honest with you. You see YouTube over the years, I fell out with a few people. In all fairness, a couple of the people I fell out with, bro, listen, I'll tell you, I've had fights with people. I've had me ass beat by several City fans with their mates. You know, but then you have to grow up. I've had my ass beat, but bro, every time I go over the Etihad, I go over on my own. Yeah, I'm twisted. Just bro, I fought with all fans. You know, like, it wasn't really a fight, it was more fun. You know, it was an activity that I seeked out. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, it was a fucking easy, you know. You know, when grown-ups think it's okay to go out and wear Stone Island gear and get into fights with fucking local firms and this, that, the other, you know, I found that attractive another lifetime ago, you know, when I worked in the city. It's like, and I knew a few of the lads out the United firm that are off this housing estate. In fact, I knew that top lad, Eddie Beef, you know. It's like, you know, but like I said, on YouTube, not many people will help you without asking for something in return. You know, all I ask is for you to be respectful, because a lot of people that are in recovery who have mental health issues come in here, you know. And I try to put people together, you know, because like mental health illness, it's a lonely road. But what you need to know is you're not on your own, because there's millions of us around the world that suffer with it. You have to identify the threat first. Like, if you don't know what's wrong with you, how can you fix it? And if you don't think there's anything wrong with you, well, then there's no problem to fix. You know, that's the fucking truth, man. Like, it's like a big monster on your back, Mental health is like a grenade. You're like a walking projectile that can blow up at any second, and it has fucking consequences, you know, because of the fallout. You know what happens when grenades go off? People get hurt, you know, and it's damage limitation. Like I said, there's nothing worse than an amputated soul. Do you understand? Fuck's sake. That's the worst thing in the world, man, an amputated soul. And I got that one from Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. You know, there's nothing worse than an amputated soul. There's no prosthetic for that. Do you understand? Like, I've been trying to educate you about certain things in life. You know, like, I'm a fucking student of life. And along the way, I've learned a lot of things. Do you understand? It's like, I'm not the same as everybody on YouTube. You know why? Because I didn't come here for the fucking money. Everybody's here for one thing, for the money. They don't give a fuck about you. I prove it on a daily, even when I'm breaking inside. You know. You can hear the siren. Siren City, baby. Sirens used to trigger me. I had a horrendous thing happen when I was a kid, involving fire. Lots of fire. That killed me brother and sister. Or out with a flesh wound, a few burns, but they got burnt in it. Unrecognisable. I don't know how my father identified them. Well, I do know, but I can't imagine that as a father, you know. It was like a beautiful day at the Etihad. Okay. Turn, you fuck. You turn. What's it doing, bro? Wait, give me. Over there. Oh. There you go. You see it? Over that roof. There's the Etihad there. Okay. You're back. I think I might go out and sit in the garden, but I'm waiting for me to charge up. So once I hit 5,000, I want to do something. So I want to bring Finn on. I want to bring Francie on. I want to bring a couple of people on who are ex-addicts in recovery, who have mental health illness like myself. I was always going to do this eventually. You know, and now the opportunity has presented itself, so I'm gonna seize it. Just like I did 33 years ago. I forget about it. Well, mate, it's taken me 3 years. You know, I've nearly made 8,000 videos on this channel. It's a lot of content to make, you know. And I was going to walk away. As soon as I hit it, I was walking. I was sick of it. I was done with it. But now I was thinking, you know what? When I get 5,000 subs, I'm moving on to TikTok. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, mate. But, like, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to bring a couple of my team with me and make them a few quid. How about that? You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring a few people over to that side of the community and help them make some money. don't do TikTok. You know, I've got like 2,500 followers or something like that. I've always wanted to do something on football. You know, I'm a Manchester United fan that lives on a blue housing estate. The 3 local pubs, they've turned them into blue pubs, but if the truth be told, Mary D's down there has always been a red pub. A red pub. Hey, you didn't donate it to me, you know why? Because I've got no PayPal link. That's why. You know, if my phone had more power on it, I'd go over the Etihad, but you're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. I might be meeting someone there tomorrow. I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel. A couple of people want to make some content with me and think they'll get a few subs by doing it, so I'm all for it, but I want to do a live with Finn and Francie and anybody else. If Mr. Richard Dowling wants to jump on, he's fucking more than welcome, man. But he probably won't. Richard is a private person, like Pablo. Like, you won't go on live, you know. I'd like to get Pablo to jump on, you know, in all fairness. Like, a lot of people know me because of the videos I make at the Etihad. Guys, gonna end me live because my phone's about to die.